All right. Happy Thursday, March 5th. I am speaking to you from the past, but let's dig right in. We are officially now into week four. Week four is both the end of SA1 and the beginning of SA2. So, a lot of moving pieces here, and I'm going to do my best to sort of explain them to you as best I can. All right. So, first, SA1 is due Saturday. Obviously, and I will keep saying this because there's a 24-hour grace period, it can come in on Sunday and you can still get full credit. So no issues there. But the longer you wait to get through SA1 and finish it, like you're going to start getting behind on SA2 because SA2 is starting immediately. SA2, you need to think of SA2 as starting at midnight Sunday morning. Okay, why? Well, SA1 is technically done and I'm now giving you readings and assignments focused on SA2 for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week before our class on March 12th. What will that look like for you guys? Not a lot of assignments are due. There's one discussion post, and it's not even a reply. And that discussion post can come in as late as right before class time on Thursday. I'm cool with that because we are going to be using a few days of week four to work on finishing up SA1. So the discussion post that you're going to do is specific to two authors, Garrett Hardin and Peter Singer. And I'm going to show you that discussion in a second, just so you can see it. You will have already received from me in class today on March 5th, printouts of Hardin and Singer. Okay. If you weren't in class, click on the discussion post number 4 and you'll have links to both of those documents. They're both PDFs on our Canvas site as well. So if you don't have the printed copy because you weren't in class on the 5th when we had our rough draft due, not great, but not the end of the world either. So let's not give up on the class. Remember, we're not giving up. It's too early to give up or quit or decide this class ain't going to work. Give it time. Give yourself the opportunity to get up to speed. But if you weren't in class, click on discussion number 4 before you're even ready to do it. Who's this Hardin? Who's this Singer? Go look at the documents there. Okay. So let's do that now. I am going to get number 4 discussion ready to go. And I am going to share screen so that you can see it. Again, very quickly. I don't need to spend a lot of time on this. Okay, so here we are with discussion post number 4. So here's the link to Hardin. Here's the link to Singer. So you're golden on those. Read through both of those writers who are on opposite sides of the debate on how best to help the poor and use a society's resources. It's food, it's water, it's land, it's money, it's whatever. Though we will not be using them directly in SA2, and that's important. We're not talking about Hardin and Singer for SA2. We're using them as models, and we're going to pick them apart together. Okay, so as it says here, our discussion or dissection of them in class, I say this week, that'll be the upcoming Thursday, March 5th, or March 12th, pardon me. In class this week, will be crucial to understanding the essay assignment as a whole. What we do to those authors is what we're going to do with AI or immigration, and then your final essay. I will be pulling student comments out of this discussion number 4. Please note that. I will be pulling student comments and quotations from this discussion in class, so make sure you get it done. I want you to contribute, and this is a way we can start the discussion before we're in class. It's that hybrid thing. If we've done some initial thinking and posting about Hardin and Singer, we can start immediately talking about them. We don't have to go over their ideas. We now have to do that dissection, okay? So let's see. Also a reminder, discussion posts, it's part of your attendance, man. So like if you're not doing the discussion posts, it's the equivalent of missing class. And you do that too much, you're dropped. Okay, so ideally by 3:11, okay, it'll be considered on time if you post by the end of the day, Wednesday, March 11th. If you post after that, but before class on Thursday, March 12th, when the discussion locks and closes and will no longer be available to anybody, you can still get majority credit, 90% credit, which is great. Losing 1 point out of 1,000, no harm done. Okay, so here's what you're going to be doing. Okay, at least 100 words, but most likely you won't be able to write only 100. You're probably going to end up writing closer to 200. Put that number in your head. 200 is the best target for this. What is his most convincing argumentative point, right? On one of these two. Okay. What is his weakest, in your opinion? What is one quotation from the article that is key to understanding it? Usually, what happens is a large chunk of the class writes about Singer, a large chunk of the class writes about Harden. They don't, it's not like everybody's going to do one or everybody does the other. So I'm only asking you to write on one of these two authors these three questions. Answer these three questions in a bullet list, 1, 2, 3, down in your post. Okay. If you do that, you are completing this assignment. If if your analysis, your quotations aren't what I would have chosen or what I think is great, but it clearly shows you're trying to figure it out, you're still going to get full credit. So let's not stress too much about that. Okay. There's another video that's going to be coming up starting Sunday. Okay. It's being available Sunday. Specifically, here's SA2 and here's what we're doing. Okay. And so I'm not going to cover that in this. What I'm really focused on right now is finishing up SA1, okay, and prepping for next week. The general overview of the entirety of SA2, that's going to be an entirely separate video that will be part of that module. So you can just find it and watch it separate. Okay, I'm going to literally record it after I finish this one. So see this shirt? You're going to see it again. All right, that's it for now. Okay, so we're trying to finish up SA1, get it submitted, ideally by Saturday, if not on Sunday. And then we're going to immediately start reading Harden and Singer so that we can be part of that discussion online and be ready for it in class. Again, read both, but you only have to post on one. If you only read one, you're going to be kind of lost for part of the discussion on Thursday. So you are expected to understand both. Yes, you can use ChatGPT or whatever to create some kind of summary for you. But if you get into that habit, I can guarantee that your second essay is going to be terrible. Your grade's going to suffer. You're not going to develop the skills that you need in college, and it's going to cost you. So please make sure, please make sure you invest in yourself by investing time into reading those works. All right. See you guys.